is comedy something that can be taught? Because obviously funny people, even in business, tend to do well in business. I mean, people
Yeah.
that funny people in, they if you're doing it the right way and you understand how to get along with people and you understand, because I just always know, I mean, I've done thousands of presentations in the
Mhm.
financial business through the years. And not that I'm a comedian or anything, but I'd always try to infuse a little bit of comedy, a little bit of funniness. I would say
Yeah.
something that would try to make them laugh a little bit. And so can that be taught, or is it something that is just instinctual? Is it just something that we just are born with?
It can be a combo, but it definitely can be taught. I mean, anything can be taught. I didn't know how the comedy business worked until I just started doing it. I didn't really know what kind of comedy that I would organically want to do or gravitate towards writing until I started doing it. When I originally started my first open mic in Chicago, I was doing one-liner kind of stuff. That is not my vibe at all. I'm a storyteller, so I had to really find that voice through the fact that organically I'm really myself on stage. So everybody's got an elevated sense of who they are on stage, but I really am through and through not playing any sort of character but myself. um Anything can be taught. I feel like comedy also is very surgical. So people that are very analytical, that's why you see like some doctors that become comedians or attorneys that have become comedians. Comedy is a science, how a room works and functions and lives and breathes. It's like an organism. And comedy itself is about timing, it's about certain plosive words. There's certain things that you can do that make a joke better, that you only figure out through doing it and being around other people that are doing it better than you, honestly. So, and it's the same in business. Anything can be learned, and you can hard work your ass off into being good at literally anything. But just know that it's really the amount of hours you put into it. It's why I never discourage young up and coming comedians. I know a lot of times when people start getting to the top of the crust, they're like, oh, you don't want to get into this business. And screw that. Like, people naturally weed themselves out if it's not their thing, or they will get some chops and it'll make them good at business or real estate or whatever it is. So it definitely is something that you can learn from just by doing.
I think you're right. You're absolutely right in what you're saying, because I think about my son. I have a 21-year-old son. His name's Max, and he is really the funniest person that I know. I mean, he's hilarious, but he's just quick-witted.
Mhm.
I think some of it is definitely born with it. Some of
Sure.
it you're born with it, because
100%.
I'm definitely not as quick and quick-witted as he. And he just gets things, I think, like you said, like on a scientific level or a
Yeah.
technical level,
Yeah.
just gets things so much better than I do. I'm
Mhm.
just different. I'm a, I don't know, maybe just a personality, hardcore business guy, whatever. But he's like, he'll sit there, and even when he was little, he would want to hang out with all the adults
Yeah. I was
and
like that
just
too.
listen to them. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
He just wants to hang out and listen to them and just be around these people. And he's not a like he doesn't want to be the center of attention necessarily. He's not that person, but he just
Yeah.
sits there and listens. But man, when he says something, it's funny,
It's
it's
sharp, it's
witty,
pointed.
just
Mhm.
it's just, and it's smart. It's like it's
Yeah,
actually very intelligent. And so,
that's cool.
but anyways, so when you think about the next level for you, okay, so you're working on, you want to do, I'm sure, lots of more comedy specials. I'm
Mhm.
sure, do you have aspirations to do movies and TV shows and things like that? I mean,
Yeah.
is this kind of the direction you're trying to go to?
Yeah, that's always been the goal. TV more so, but I've done more movies than TV. I just had one come out last year that was a full like mockumentary, improvised movie, which was pretty interesting to do. Um,
And what is
and
that called? So that way we could go watch it.
it's called Dreamland Storming Area 51. So we actually went to an alien stock festival and made up these characters that we played in the festival the whole time. So it's like a movie within a fake documentary that actually ended up being kind of a documentary as well. So it's pretty fun. You know, we didn't know what direction it was going to go because we were improvising the whole thing. So a lot of it was like created in post, or as we went, the director would be like, hey, do this next. You know, this is kind of where we see this heading. And so it was really a fun project for all of us.
Well, I'm going to watch it. So make sure you send me the link to that where I
Yeah,
can watch it. So that way I can also, we'll add it to the description below. So
yeah,
that way everybody we'll try to get some more views. Because I
absolutely.
know my audience, man, they follow everybody I tell them to follow. So
Oh,
they're going to
cool.
follow you. They're going to blow you up. They're going to ask you questions. They're going to, they're going to be your biggest fans.
That's
So
great.
I
I'm
know
here for it. I'm here for it.
because I'm your biggest fan. I'm your biggest fan already. So
Ah,
for
stop.
sure, they're going to be your biggest fan for sure.
The biggest thing for me though, I've always wanted to like sell a TV series, and I've been very close a number of times. Like I was on holding and shopping deals in the past with major networks. And the process is really crazy because you might work on something for a year and a half, 2 years, and then have it be this close to getting picked up. And then if it doesn't, it just kind of gets tabled. Then you got to start from scratch. And so I've been through that process many times. But I have a new series that I'm working on that ties in some of the stuff from post my breakup and from my breakup registry into a very, very cool coming of age kind of situation. So I'm excited to dig into that a little bit more and pitch that soon.
Sweet. Do you have a favorite movie, like a favorite comedy, favorite drama, favorite movie that you maybe would watch many times?
To get inspired or something.
Yeah,
Um,
or get inspired or even laugh. I mean, any
yeah, you know, my go-to movies whenever I'm just like trying to put on something to fall asleep to and need something mindlessly entertaining. Sweetest Thing, which was my favorite movie in high school. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's ridiculous. And
I don't think so.
before I started stand up, I was in improv. And so I miss elements of that because stand up is very, like I said, it's really fun, but it's really surgical in a lot of ways where you're always trying to like write the best joke, where improv was very free and weird. You got to be weird and goofy and like fuck around. You know, it felt like adult playtime. And so it's fun to be re-inspired to just have these weird elements of a character that are very grounded in a reality that they're just living in. Bridesmaids is another great example of that. Just, you know, perfectly written ridiculousness. And I really like stuff like that. I think You Should Leave is a series that is great on Netflix. I don't know if you know that show.
No.
Tim Robinson, he's a Second City guy. I don't know Tim well, but I'm friends with Sam Richardson, who's in that series and many other series. And so he makes a lot of cameos in that show. And it's also just ridiculous. And not everybody gets it, but it's the kind of show that if you get it, you get it, you know? So I love watching stuff like that because it just reminds me like, hey, we're here to have fun. Like you don't have to take this so seriously. Not everything has to be like a perfectly crafted, meticulous, beat, beat, beat kind of joke. Some stuff is just like a silly fucking story and you just get to be weird and free with it and tell it like it is. And, you know, it's nice to have that ingrained in you that you can approach comedy from a lot of different perspectives.
Think that I have to be deranged in the head to some degree because I watched Ted for the first time the other night
Uh-huh.
and I like literally peed my pants laughing. I was just like, it was so funny. I mean, it was
Yeah.
incredibly funny, just crazy, ridiculous, stupid funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sitting there watching this movie. I'm like, I am loving this right now. How did I not watch this like 10
Yep.
years ago, whenever it
I know.
came out? And it's just, but it kind of, we need that. We need laughter. I love comedies. I love watching things that make me laugh, that make me feel good, that make even some of the stupid things. Sometimes you watch a movie and you're like, I can't believe I just wasted 2 hours on that.
Yeah.
But if you laughed, then that was a good thing. Because I think that laughter gives us extra years of our life back. I believe
Mhm.
that. I believe like health wise, I believe when we laugh, we get some years back or get some time back. And
Yeah,
my goal is to go for 120. So man, I'm trying to laugh as
right?
much as I possibly can. So
Well, and
yeah. So
I agree. I feel like our I read something the other day. You know how Instagram works. I'm like, did I really take it in? But here's the essence of it. I read something the other day that was like, they were talking about the age in which you completely kind of lose that whimsical childlike mentality, and it's pretty young. I think it was like 9 or 10 or something, where society has ingrained in you from your surroundings that you're now supposed to start adulting a little bit more, and you're supposed to act a certain way, and people change because of the surroundings. I don't mean that in like a negative way, that everybody changes and turns into like some boring adult, but there is an element of that that's true. I mean, there's a part of what it takes to be a good audience, when you're in front of an audience, um, is to let loose and let your expectations go. And that's really hard for people because we have a very judgmental eye in our society. It's just how it is. There's so much content, there's so many different people creating stuff. I mean, it's easy to judge our surroundings constantly. And so to be reminded that you can just sit back and enjoy something, like even when I go to see other people do stand up, I don't watch it from the critical eye of, oh, I don't really even think that's funny. What is the point of that? Like, go watch something and fucking enjoy what you're watching. Just like let loose and try to find some sort of glimpse of silver linings in it. I'm seeing all these posts about the Barbie movie. It's like, calm down, everybody. It is exactly probably the movie that it's supposed to be. Like, that was their intention. So enjoy it for what it is, or just don't say anything, like, I don't know.
If you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. If you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.